afternoon, traders. My name is Sitlengema from QuickTrade. Welcome to our QuickTrade technical analysis. There's something that I was checking here. Okay, guys, please let me know if you can hear the sound here. Can you hear the sound? It's an old webinar. Sorry, can you hear the sound? Loveline, is that the answer that you were giving me there? Can you hear the sound? Okay, okay, but there is something that I'm trying to play here. I'm referring to the to the previous webinar that we did. I need you guys to tell me if you can hear the sound. I will try and play it. I'm playing it now. Sorry, guys, did you get that? Oh, okay. No, that's that's perfect. I want us to do a review of some of these webinar sessions that we've done. I want us to look maybe at we'll decide. Maybe we can just go for the webinar that maybe we did in March or April. Have a look at maybe how some of those stocks that we looked at, how they did or how they've done to or to date. I want us to have a look at that and check if we can get that. We'll maybe do that in the next few days. Okay, let me see. Richard, Lawrence, Bukiwe, Loveline, Gert. Okay, guys. Before we start, sorry, is there anything that you'd like us to have a look at? Because I mean, we are not really going to move forward until we understand clearly what we are doing when doing technical analysis, when analyzing, getting direction of the stock, or the entire stock market. I don't really want us to move forward and start looking at all these other fancy things. I just want us to focus on the basics until we get them. Then from there we can move on to other things. But I mean, we need to make sure that we cover our basics right, like maybe understanding the trend following system, because I mean the trend, the system that or the strategy that we are using here is more like trend following. We always try to find the main direction of the trend, see where the trend is going, and try and follow it. We do not really want to predict where the market is about to turn or do a reversal. We just want to know what the market is doing. Is the market rising or falling? If the market is falling, we want to go in and sell that market. If the market is rising, we want to go in and start buying that market. It doesn't make sense maybe trying to time the turning points or reversals and all of that. We just want to go with the flow. That's all we need to do, guys. That's the only way I think we can make money from this market. It's going to be very easy if we do that. I see guys are busy typing some messages. I think those messages are meant for me. Bukiwa, I'm waiting for your message. Guys, are there any particular shares that you've had a look at or you've had issues with maybe over the past couple of days that you did not understand maybe why you lost out on them or why you hit the stop loss? If you have those, please let me know. Oh, Bugi is saying that my sound is not very good. Let me double check this. Bugi, I think maybe I can blame it on the internet, maybe my internet connection, because I mean nothing has been changed. Everything is looking good on my end. I don't know. Is everyone having difficulty hearing me? Is it just Bugiwe? Oh, with you, Azola, it's fine. Oh, okay. No, that's perfect. Heart's fine. Guess Richard's gonna be fine also. Richard is also fine. Oh yeah, let me see. Bugiwa, I think maybe there could be a problem with your internet connection, your quality of connection there. Please bear with me. Let's try and make a do with what we have. I understand that maybe there isn't much that you can do to try and change things like right now. Okay, guys, I asked a question. I mean, if you have been checking the market or if you have been trading, what are the issues that you are currently facing in this market? Is the market maybe going against you? You don't understand why that's the case? What is going on? What are the issues that you are currently facing? But I mean, I'm talking about analyzing the market specifically. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, a whole lot of other stuff. I want us to try and oh, Azola, you're saying AGL is going against us. I don't know. I've been doing some other class. I don't know what AGL is doing. Let me check if I can spot AGL here. Oh, AGL 301. It went down to sure. It actually opened at 297. Two. No, no, no. This is AGL. I want this one. Okay. Sure. uh, okay, this is what we looked at yesterday. We looked at this line here. We looked at this line. We looked at this line here, and today we closed below this line. Okay. Okay, I see. Like the guys are still busy typing their messages. But I mean, I've got AGL up, Azola. We'll be having a look at it now. We'll be looking at it, and I'll tell you what I think is happening there. We did touch on AGL yesterday. We looked at the points that we did not like, and we also looked at the points that we liked about it. Oh, Mugiwa, if you try to change your stop loss before 8:30, I think I think that's the case. The system won't allow you to modify your stop loss or your limit price before 8:30. But immediately after 8:30, they they enable the system, the trading platform, so you can be able to do that. If it was before 8:30, yeah, it makes sense. Immediately after 8:30, you can just go in and change the stop loss or the take profit before market opens. It was 8:45. Well, I had some guys complaining this morning. I think it was just before 9. The system took a bit longer to upload some charts and a couple of things on the system. I think that's the problem that we had this morning. Otherwise, going forward, you should be able to do your more, I mean, your modifications immediately after 8:30 in the morning, Bogiwa. I'm sorry that you had some issues this morning, but I mean, you should be able to modify or edit anything after 8:30. Okay, guys, let's look at AGL once more. We had a look at AGL yesterday. We we checked it, and our conclusion. was that the main trend on this one is up. The only issue currently is that we are just having a little bit of a pullback. We are having a bit of a pullback. I just want to have a look at this one quickly. Okay, we'll look at the monthly time frame first. Let me refresh it and make sure that we have the right data here. Okay. Okay, guys, this is the monthly time frame. If you look at the monthly time frame, let's look at our moving average. The market is trading above our 10 simple moving average on the monthly time frame. That means that the market is rising. Even if you look at the higher highs and the higher lows, that's proof that the market is rising. If you look at it, it's like a rising staircase. It's going up. So the main trend is up on this one. Let us try and get our support and resistance. See if we can get our support and resistance. We'll use a line chart here. We'll use a line chart. We'll use a line chart. Okay, that's the turning point there. Okay, let me remove all these lines that we have here. Let me remove all of them. This is our line chart. Let us use these turning points to mark our support levels. I'm marking this turning point here. This turning point should act as our support. That area is 289 or 290. That is our main support there. Below that, previously we visited this area. We visited this area. This is the support that I'm looking at there at the bottom, this turning area here, where I have that black dot. That's the turning area. I want us to try and close in on the price, because I mean our main focus currently is looking at where the price is, at what the price is likely to do next. That is our support there. I'll leave this support here, and let me try and get another line here for resistance. You see this point here that I've marked with a black dot? That is a turning point I'm looking at. That's the turning point I'm looking at, is around 310, but there's another one at the top here around 324, 325, which is our resistance. All these levels are our resistance levels that we need to look at. Okay, let me make this bigger. If you want to trade AGL, our first resistance is around 325, second resistance 310. Support levels, we have 296 or 296.70 or 297. Next layer of support is 290. What is that? 290. And another layer of support is at 277. 277 here is this one. Support 277, 290. 296, 297, 310, 325 on AGL. Let's go to our candles. We are above our moving average. The market went up to that 325 in May. Sellers came in, pushed the price down. We closed below these two levels here, and we left a big tail above the body of the price. Some say this is a bearish reversal bar. I refuse. Sorry, I beg to differ. I do not really think that this is a bearish reversal pin at the moment. And again in June, the price went up. It went as high as 333, if my memory serves me right. 333.33. That's the high. From there, sellers came in and pushed the price down. They pushed it down below 325, pushed it down below 310. The next main area of support that I see in this one, on this one for me currently is at 296, 296.90, or you can call it 297 if you like. 296.90, 297. That area is very important. I think that's where the price could actually drop down to if it does decide to come down to that level there. It may come down to 297, 296.90. So that's the main area I'm looking at. 290 is also possible if we break below 296.90. I'm looking at the monthly chart, guys, first. I'm looking at the monthly chart. I haven't moved to the daily. I'm just looking at the monthly chart, a bigger time frame. So that 296, 297, and 290, those are the levels that I'm looking at in this market. I think we may still come down to 290 before shooting higher, uh, going for 325 or something like that. Let's now go to the daily chart. The monthly chart is saying we are in an uptrend, but check what the daily is doing. We spoke about this yesterday. We said that the only issue with this with this stock, or with this share, is that we are trading below the moving average, and we are trading below that critical well, I mean, resistance area, because I mean 310 is our resistance. 310 is our resistance level, because I mean we are trading below it. This is the area that kept our gains yesterday. The market was busy rising yesterday. AGL, actually went as high as 314.97, and those gains were kept by this area here, going up towards the 10 simple moving average. When the price got there, sellers came in and pushed the price lower. And today it looks like we are having a follow through. So as long as we are still trading below 310, or we don't close the day above 310, or 310, or just 310.22, it depends how you look at it. The price, I think, in my view, is likely to come down to 296.90 or 297 to 297 before we can expect to see the price reversing. Personally, I would really like to buy this one between 290 and 297. You see this zone here. Let me mark it so that you see it. I would like to. mm, Which one? Let me use this one. This is the zone I like. It's between this zone. Between this zone here. This is where I would actually want to come in and start buying AGL. This is the zone that I would actually like. This is the zone where I would really like to come in and start buying AGL between 290 and 296. In fact, even if you buy it here at 297, it's not a problem, but you must know that the price may still come down towards 290, or just below or just below that area there, 290, before the price goes up. I believe that very soon we'll have AGL trading around 330 again. But the problem is that currently we are below our simple moving average on the daily, and the price is sliding. The price is going down. Let's check the weekly. Let's check what the weekly time frame is saying on this one. The weekly time frame hasn't actually finished playing out. At the end of the week on Friday, we're going to wait we're going to wait to see where this one closes. If we get a close below the simple moving average, currently we are below the moving average, but I mean the weekly hasn't ended yet, so this move that we see here doesn't really count. It's not important. I'm not even worried about it for now. But I mean, if on Friday we close below the moving average, we close like this, it's possible that we're going to come down. We're going to come right down to this 297 area, and maybe 290. We will touch. It's possible that we may touch 290 within within the next 2 weeks. But I mean, before the end of last week. Sorry, of next week, we should actually be able to trade between 297 and 290 before picking up. So that's the only thing that is worrying me about AGL for now. But overall, the trend is still up. I think we are still on a rise. But I mean, in terms of stop losses, sure. I think we're going to have a bit of a problem there. I think we're going to have a bit of a problem because I mean I think sorry, let me do this. What am I doing there? I think we'll have a problem because I mean we are trading below the moving average. If you are trading below the daily moving average, it means that the momentum is actually going against you. So this is not a really good trade like right now. It's possible that we could see this price coming down even more. If even if you check our hourly time frame, at 2 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, well, no, at three. This was at three. At 3 o'clock, we closed below the simple moving average. That's when the whole thing started, and we were below that 310 area. We are using now the hourly chart. We were below here, and the price started declining. So I don't really like what's happening here. If it wasn't for the risk reward ratio, which should always be like 1:2, I would actually try and move my stop loss lower down, maybe towards 284, 283 levels. But I mean, that's not good trading principle. You do not do that. If you want to do the right thing, you keep your stop where you set your stop to be initially when you started maybe playing, you know, or toying with an idea of going in to take a long. So just keep it. If the market comes down and kick you out on a stop loss, it's fine. Let the market do that. But you must have a clear understanding in your minds that the price is likely to come down to 297. If 297 is this area here. If 297 fails to hold, the price is likely to come right down to 290. It could actually go a little bit below 290 before the price turns, but my value zone is here between 296 and 290. Around there, I think you stand a better chance if you go in and buy this market and have your stop right below maybe 284. I think that's where you can actually look to make some money out of this one. Okay, guys, do you have any more questions? If you have any more questions, please ask before I move on to something else. Someone has just asked me to have a look at Braid. Let me see. Hi, Sitla, can you check if Braid can buy? Is it a resistance level? Okay, we'll have a look at that one. I think someone is busy typing me a message. Love line. I'll wait for her to finish. Then we will look at your stock, Lindy Way. Yeah, love line, you can do that. It's very important that you do that. You can do that because I mean, every time the market gets to those levels, it tends to respect them. So it's important that you mark those resistance levels, even if they go back to 2012. They are very important. I know that there are people that do not really pay much attention to those because they are saying that they are too far behind. In my view, I think they are not. They are still relevant today. In fact, I was saying to the guys, the group of people that I was with this morning, I was saying that you can actually do your technical analysis like maybe once a year. I'm talking about the key resistance and support levels. You can do that just once a year and make sure that you have those recorded. Every time the market gets to those levels, you just go in and check. what they represent in the market. Do they represent support or resistance? If it's support, you wait for the signal to confirm a buy there. If they represent resistance, you wait for a signal confirming your shorts. You can just go in and take your shorts. So that can actually remove a lot of load off your shoulders in terms of looking at the market on a daily basis. You can just do that maybe like once and just focus on the levels using bigger time frames. Okay, let's look at let's look at Bright, because Marubini is taking long. He hasn't finished typing his message yet, so let's forget about him for now. He's gonna finish typing his message and we'll read it out. Okay, guys, the main thing is that when the price is above the moving average, that means that the price is on a rise. Prices are likely to go up for a few months, and when it goes below the simple moving average, it means that the prices are likely to decline for a bit more. Like here, we went below the moving average on a monthly time frame in 2016 on Bright, and the price started declining. And the price started declining, and we are still trading below the the simple moving average here on the monthly time frame. If you look at this one, let us make it bigger. I don't know if you guys can see this when looking at it from a monthly time frame. The market has been trading in this range for a long time, since Feb 2018, and every time it gets here at the bottom of this range around 36, buyers come in, push the price up. They push the price up towards 44, 43.54, and 53.54, if you look at it, is very close to our simple moving average there. Check what the price does. Every time the price gets closer to our simple moving average, in most cases it tends to reverse around the simple moving average and move lower. So this time I think we are going to have the same scenario once more taking place. Let's look at this top resistance that we have on this one. It's 44.89 or 45. That's our resistance. It's important that we mark these areas before we decide whether the stock is a buy or not. And another layer of resistance that we have is around 43.54, and today's high is 42.60, very close to that 43.54 or even 44 if you like. But our simple moving average is at 43.60 and our line is at 43.54. So around there you must be on a lookout for a price reversal or a breakout above that simple moving average. We'll be on a lookout for that. I've been waiting for this level for a very long time. Anything between 43.54 and 44.89 or 45, in my view, looking at what the price has done in the past, I think we are likely to have a short there. We are likely to get some shorts, but it's still early days. We do not want to predict what the market is going to do. We want to see it from the confirmations that we get from the market. So this is the area I'm looking at on this one. Every time the price comes down to 36, buyers come in, push it up. It gets to 43, 44 to 44, sellers come in and push it down. We've been doing this for, I don't know, so how many months? Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. For the past 6 months, we've been doing this. For the past 6 months, we've been playing around there. Even if you use the quarterly chart, the first quarter, this is what we did. This is our second quarter now. The market is trying to go back up there. But I mean, if you look at the main trend has been on a nice decline. We have been declining the whole time, but this quarter it looks like we're going to have a positive quarter after how many negative quarters since 2016, beginning of 2016? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times 3 is 16, 24. I think that's 24. It's 24. I mean, for the past 24 months, we've been declining. We've never had any positive. Quarter close. But this time it looks like at the end of June we're going to have a positive close to the month of no, sorry, to the second quarter of 2018. I don't know whether that is going to happen or not, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see on the last day of June where rate closes. Okay, let's look at our daily time frame now. Okay, we can even look at the weekly. I know that the weekly is looking positive. The weekly time frame, guys, is looking positive. You can see there we've been trading in this channel for we've been trading in this channel since the beginning of 2018. This channel here. So the price is going up towards that 43.54, 44 area. The week is not over yet, but it looks like we're going to have a positive week. This time we're going to have a positive week going up towards that 44. Around that 44, that's where I think that the price is going to actually start declining or breaking out. Declining or breaking out. Okay, so let me just fix this. Okay. Okay, the daily time frame, we broke above the simple moving average here yesterday on the 28th. After hitting our support around 36, and the price is going up towards that area there. Okay, so now we are looking for bearish engulfing bars around this area here, or we are looking for a reversal pin bars. A reversal pin bar is something that looks like this one here. You see this one where I have my cursor next to the one around. Okay, when was this? This was the 5th of oh, okay, no, it wasn't the 5th. This was the 3rd of May. 3rd of May, the price went up there to that zone that we've just mentioned, 45, 43.50. It went there, sellers came in, pushed the price down, and the price started going back down to that 36. Again, it had done this again in Feb and in in Feb, and the price started coming down. So I expect to see the price maybe pushing a little bit higher, getting into that zone. If we get any negative reversal there or any bearish reversal there, we can actually look to go in and buy, like the one that we had here. Around there, if we get that, you can actually start going in before we even cross below the 10 simple moving average. You can just jump in there, because this range is very tight. It is very small. It's between 44 and 36. It's not really tight. It's a huge move. You can actually make a lot of money if you go in there and take a shot. So this one, I wouldn't really want to go in and take this one. Looking at where this market is trading now, we are very close to this resistance at the top, 45, 43.50. I would like to stay out of it. Maybe wait for it to get here and trade in the main direction of the market, because the main direction of this market is down. The main direction of this market is down. So I think it's better if you wait for it to get to maybe 43.50, 44, 43.50, 44. When it gets there, if you see a good opportunity, you go in and take a shot. This has been a nice range bound market on rate. Every time 36 you buy, you know that you're going to make your money. You could have been maybe a whipsawed here once, or spiked out here once when it came down to 31. So it is a buy, but I mean, I wouldn't like to participate on this one. I would like to wait maybe for the price to get to 43.50, $45. I don't know if you guys have any questions on this one. If you understand what I'm saying, are you happy with it? We are very close to that resistance. You don't buy closer to your resistance levels. You don't. You stay out of the market. You actually try and sell those turning points. Oh, perfect, Lindy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other suggestion? Any other suggestion, guys? Anything that you are looking at that you are not too sure about that you want us to have a look at? Uh, Nothing. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's look at at Shoprite. Shoprite has sure some interesting structure. We looked at it this morning. I had a look at it with a group of guys that wanted to know what's going on Shoprite. I'm still a little bit confused about Shoprite, but looking at the current economic conditions, I think Shoprite is likely to take a bit of a knock maybe over the next couple of weeks, but that is just a speculation from my part. I'm not really that's not really like factual. I'm looking at the rand. The rand has been weakening. Yesterday, we had a bit of a rally in financials and retailers because the rand was strengthening against the US dollar. I think we went we went down to 13.55, 13.55, 13.56, and that's so these counters, or these I mean stocks I've just mentioned, retailers and financials, rallying yesterday, giving us some nice returns, and some people are still like believing that retailers and financials are still going to move higher. I'm a little bit confused right now, looking at the rand weakening again. It's now back at 13.73. We could be going again towards that 1390, 14 rand zone. So if that if that happens, we should actually get our financials and our retailers really coming off a bit. So for that reason, I'm not too sure what's going to happen on retailers and financials. But I mean, I'd like to short those. I'd like to short them. I don't really think that they are going to do well. Okay, let's look at Shoprite. Shoprite has been on a nice, on a nice rise since 2016. I will draw a rising trend line here using the monthly time frame. This is how it looks. If some of you followed some of the past webinars that I've done, I did some analysis on Shoprite while it was still trading, I think, much higher. I said I was looking at Shoprite maybe coming down to 225, 230 before maybe I consider going long on Shoprite. I was looking at this current, at this current rising trend, or this current rising trend line that we have here, and it has actually done that. The low so far on Shoprite is 220. We're looking at those levels. We're saying that maybe around those levels, that's where one can actually start looking at toying with the thought of going long on Shoprite. So this is what is happening. It's now right on this line here. The month is not over yet. So we haven't really closed below the simple moving average. This is an intra-month move. We are in the middle of the month, so we cannot really use this as a decision making tool for now. We should just wait for the month to end first before we decide whether we are going to take this as a valid signal or not. Now let's change to our line chart. Let's mark the levels that we deem important here. This is our support, sorry, our resistance at the top here. We're just trading below that area there. This one, I'm not going to mark. I mean, they are very close to each other. I can mark it. Let me mark it, but I will make it. They are very to each other. I will mark it. And support is here at 220.73, and that's our low so far. Support is at that area, and it's in line with the rising trend line that we have here. We may have to adjust this rising trend line. Let's make it bigger. You see what the market did when it got to the support at 220. The market, hit this support, just poked it. Buyers came in and started pushing the price up. I think they pushed it up towards 235, but it was above 230 and it started coming back down again. So the simple moving average is not very important at the moment. We're focusing more on these key support and resistance level. This support area, to be specific, we are focusing on this area. This is the area that we are focusing on. Let us now use the daily time frame to get a better view of the situation here. We may have to adjust our our rising trend line here, because the time frame has changed. The only thing that we don't adjust are our horizontal lines. Horizontal lines we do not adjust, but this you can adjust. You see, we've been on this rising trend line for or rising trend since 2016. So now we are playing around this area here. We are playing around this area here. So let me see. We are playing around this area, and that area is 227, 227 and 220. And if you look at your daily time frame, let me refresh. Okay, I've just refreshed there. If you look at your daily time frame, we are still below that 227, let's call 227.92 or 228. If it any daily close above 228, I think this price, the Shoprite will push back up to 237. We have a bit of resistance around 237. We have a bit of resistance around 237. Let me show you where that is using the daily chart. Okay, it is that area there. When we are connecting those, let me do this. Let me make it bigger and have it as a dotted line. Okay, that area there at the top, that's where I think we have our resistance on Shoprite. 220, 225. If you're a brave guy, you can actually use that as your buy zone. Shoprite, I think it's looking good. But there is another thing that I need us to mark. I need us to mark the falling trend line. You see this pullback that we've had from this top here. It was on this. It started from the 7th of March, 2018. To date, it has been the market has been falling. So I want us to mark this falling trend line. I'm going to connect this point here with this one coming down here. Okay. This market has been falling. It looks like it has just bounced off this 225 zone. So we must keep an eye on the close above the simple moving average, just above 228. If we get a daily close above 228, we can actually maybe start thinking of going in to buy this market, hoping that we bounced off this area and we move up. But I mean, the first hurdle that we're going to face is around 237.40 to 37.50. If around 237.50 we break above on a daily closing basis, we can actually look at this market going up to 342, 345 zone, and hopefully 250. From there, maybe we can start buying this market. I don't really know what's going to happen. A lot of factors will need to be put in here for us to come to, some conclusive evidence what the market is going to do going forward. At the moment, I'm just looking at that 220, 225 area. I think there is a value zone. You can go in there and buy, but you must understand that is a blind entry situation. You are going in there without any formal confirmation. We need to get that confirmation with the price crossing in closing above the 10 simple moving average on a daily time frame, and above this 228 area. From there, we can expect the price to go up maybe to 237.50 first. Gets to 237.50. There's going to be a little bit of resistance here from the sellers, and if we take that resistance out, we are going to break out and move much higher on Shoprite. So Shoprite is a good stock. I like it. The only problem that I have with Shoprite is that the rand is weakening, and every time the rand weakens, Shoprite gets a cold. Because I mean, they don't like. Retailers don't like high inflation environment. You know what the rand weakness means. The rand weakness means that we're going to have a lot of imported inflation through Brent crude, because we import Brent crude. So when that happens, the petrol prices are going to go up. The prices at uh, at um, at the shelves, when we go to the shops to buy stuff, they're going to rise also, because they use fuel to transport goods and operate some of the machines that need to that requires petrol and all of that. So that is what is happening on Shoprite. If you guys have any more questions, please ask. If there's anything that you're not happy about with what we've just analyzed now, please let me know, so that we can have a look at it. Okay. Okay, Azola is asking me to have a look at NetBank. Check. It looks like it's going to bounce. Okay. Luciba is saying. Well, if the rand strengthens against the US dollar, it makes sense to buy your financials and your retailers. It makes sense, more especially. Let's just say that it makes sense. You can just go in there and start buying your Shoprites and all of those guys, because it means that it's a low inflation environment. Uh, consumers or consumers or clients have more disposable income, because it's not too expensive to service their debts. But once it becomes too expensive to service your debt, you know that you must try and redo your budget and all of that. Make sure that you can afford your repayments on your car, you can afford your repayments on your bond, even if even if there is a slight hike, like maybe 25 basis points, that could mean that maybe you're going to be spending like an extra $1,000 on interest if you have some debts. So it's important that you keep an eye on that. Yes, you do use indicators to confirm your trend. Okay, like this one here. Let's use one on Shoprite. You can do that, but I mean the main thing is to first understand your direction of the market, understand your support and resistance, try and those trend lines, be on the lookout for those breakouts and breakdowns in the market. Once you've done all of that, then you can maybe add your indicator of choice just to confirm if the market is really going according to your bias or not. Let us now look at RSI. I'm going to apply RSI. I like using RSI when I'm confused, when I don't understand what the market is doing. This is what I like doing. I like putting a line in the middle of my RSI around 50. Well, I mean, I was targeting 50, but I can't get 50, guys. Really, it's too difficult. I'm targeting 50 there. So if the stock is trading below 50, it means that that stock is under pressure. You see, there's 50 here. The stock is under pressure, is trading below 50. And if the stock is trading above the 50 mark on your RSI, it means that stock is on a rise. Prices are likely to move higher. It means that there is a little bit of momentum happening there. And another way that you can use your RSI, you can use your RSI to mark divergence, a positive divergence and negative divergence levels on your chart. I will show you what I mean by that. Let us get a line chart. Let us remove this ball here. Okay, we've just removed that one. It's going to confuse us if you leave it there. What we have here, we have something called positive divergence. Positive divergence. Positive divergence is when the price of a stock is continuing to decline, is making lower lows, but the RSI is refusing to go any lower. It's busy making its lower, it's higher lows. It's higher lows. I will show you what I mean exactly. I just want us to mark these levels from there. I will show you where I am going with this one. Okay. Okay, I'm using these thick blue lines. This one that I've just marked here, I'm marking. Look at. Okay, let's do this. Before I say that, let's do this. Mm, okay. Oh, this one I can't make it thicker. It's fine. We'll just use this one. It's okay. Mm, okay, marking this point here. And this is another point I'm marking. This is an example of using indicators to confirm whether the market is at a key turning point or is still on a decline. Let's look at the RSI. The RSI is now going up against the price, but check what the price is doing there. I hope this is clear to you guys. Okay, check this point here. This point is higher than this one here. So it's higher than this point here. But if you look at the RSI is the other way. Is the other way. It's going the opposite. The RSI is busy going up. And what is this area? This area is our is our key support area in terms of the horizontal support line that we have around 220, and also in terms of the rising trend line that you saw on the daily time frame. Let us try and squash it. I want to see if you can get that. You see, this is the rising line I'm talking about. This is the thick blue horizontal line that I have around 220. That line is very important. That's our support. So we've got these two converging or coming together. So they're sort of like creating a confluence of sorts when we get those two factors saying one thing. That's a good thing. And if you look at the RSI here at the bottom, the RSI is giving us positive divergence. The price is still moving lower, and the price and the RSI indicator is now saying that the price should now start rising. It's tired of going down. So we can actually use that to confirm if maybe it makes sense for you to go in and start buying the stock. But it should be that should only be used around key support and resistance areas. Around key support and resistance areas. You mustn't just use it anywhere. Let me try and see if I cannot pick a negative divergence. A negative divergence. I'll show you what a negative divergence is. I'll just move these. I want to, okay, let's mark this area here and this area here. I'll steal this one here. Ah, no. I like this. Okay, let me do this there. I'll steal this one. You see what the price is doing here? The price here is rising. The price on Shoprite was rising here, but let's look at the RSI. Let's look at our RSI. What the RSI was doing. Our RSI was flat. Our RSI was flat. This is called a negative divergence. This is a negative divergence because the price is continuing to stretch higher. But if you look at your RSI here, your RSI is refusing to move higher. And what happens immediately after that? You see your price declining, going below your simple moving average. You must know that it's time maybe for you to start going in and looking for those shorts on that stock. But it's also important to check whether that is happening at resistance or not. But I mean, this one was a little bit overstretched. So even if it's not at support, maybe because I mean, this could have been an uncharted territory, the territory where the market hasn't actually visited before. So you could just use your 10 simple moving average there to go in and sell because of this negative divergence that you see here, because the price is still stretching higher and your moving average is saying no. Another thing that you could have done maybe is to draw another rising trend line here. I don't want to confuse you with too many lines because I was just showing you divergence, sorry, positive and negative divergence. Even if you were to do this, you see there was this rising trend line that was supporting the price. Each time the price came down to this rising trend line, the price bounced off the trend line and went higher. And this time it's below the simple moving average. It's below your rising trend line. It's below again once more here, and it goes back up to test the strength of this rising trend line. It gets there, it finds sellers, it goes below the simple moving average once again, and it starts declining. So that was a good confirmation for you if you were considering going short there. I know that it's happened. It's very easy to do analysis on past information. That is why I try to avoid doing that in our sessions. I do it on the current market environment, and that's what we've always done here. Yes, you are going to have this. I will download it now, and I will have it on YouTube, and I'm also gonna have it on Facebook. Bianca, you can have access to it. I'll try and do it shortly after our session has finished. I will do it. Lindy, where you want us to have a look at the rand against the US dollar. Okay, we'll have a look at the rand against the US dollar. This is our last. Yeah, welcome, Bianca. This is our last instrument we'll look at today. Unless if you guys have more, I don't have anything against you having more stuff to analyze. You can do that. This market is changing. It's now coming off. What's causing this? I think I missed out on some news here, on some important news. That's why this market maybe is coming down like this. Okay, let's delete this. Okay, why don't you just delete everything? Remove all. We don't have anything anymore. Let's remove the RSI. Hopefully you won't need it. Okay, I'll use the dotted line here, or you can use the dotted line. The dotted line makes it easier for you to spot those turning points. It makes it hard for you to miss any turning points there. Even if that turning point is not like well defined, it's not like standing out, you can always spot one. Like here, we've got this dot here, so I'm taking this one as the turning point. So I'm marking these key support and resistance levels. I'm using the quarterly time frame. Remember, at the end of June is the end of June is the end of the second quarter of 2018, end of the first half. So those levels are very important, and they are likely to set tone for the next direction or for the next move in this market. Okay, I'm going to leave it at how many? One, two, three, four. Let me just use four because we're trying to close in on the price, what the price is doing right now and what it's likely to do next. So we are just going to focus on that. Okay. First things first. Okay, the market is above the 10 simple moving average, but you must understand that we haven't reached the end of the month yet. This is the month of June. End of May, the market did not really give us a clear direction where it was going, but it carried on moving higher anyway. So in June, the rand has lost almost 8% against the US dollar. It's lost, let's just call it 8%. We've lost 8% against the US dollar. And we have our resistance at 1380, and our next resistance is at 1411. Our next resistance at 1411, 1410. That's where I see our next resistance on the rand. Against the US dollar. So at the end of the month, we're going to know whether the price is above. But we have this resistance very close at 1409. So we need to be very careful what we do next on this rand dollar trade. Okay, on a daily chart, you see what the market did when it got here on the 19th. On the 19th, the market tried to push beyond 1380. It did intraday only, which means it didn't close the day above 1380. The high on the day was 1390, and the actual close was 1373, which is well below 1376. 1376 is our main resistance right now on the rand against the US dollar. So we are keeping a close eye on that one at 1376. Any daily close above 1376 is likely to bring in more sellers, more South African rand sellers to push to push us to 1409, 1410. That's where I think we have our main resistance. But as long as the price is still below 1376, I'm okay. It's possible that we may still see the rand maybe coming back down to 1340. 1340, 1345. That's the zone where I expect to see maybe the rand playing, provided it respects that 1376 area. Sorry. If we don't go beyond 1376 on a daily closing basis, we are likely to come down to 1340, 1345 still. From there, the price should actually move up. When the price maybe comes closer towards this 1340, 1345 area, I think it's going to attract more buyers, more US dollar buyers. They'll buy the US dollar and sell the rand. But yeah, our moving average is at 1340, 1343. Yeah, it's doable. Our moving average is at 1343. So you must just keep an eye out for that 1376. And the next layer of resistance that we have is at 1409, 1410. I'm not saying that we may not extend beyond 1409, 1410. It is possible on a daily time frame, because I mean, when you are looking at the daily time frame, I'm going to mark this one black. I'm going to mark it black because I'm getting it from a daily time frame. I've just marked this one black. So if we go to maybe 1409, it's possible that we may touch 1448, 1450 before maybe the rand starts strengthening once more, and you see some dollar weakness. It's possible that the rand could still get to 1448, 1450. But before we get to those levels, we need to first clear 1376. You can write those levels down. 1376. If we clear 1376, we are going for 1409, 1410. We clear 1409, 1410. The next level to look at is 1448, 1450. From 1448, 1450, I think that's where we can expect to see some rand strength coming back again. But I mean, it's going to depend on a number of issues, like the political situation in the country, the way that the country is being governed, the SOEs, state-owned enterprises, and all of that. If we start maybe getting better ratings from the global rating agencies, maybe we could see the rand maybe starting to strengthen again. Plus the economic activity also. If you see maybe our GDP numbers improving, I don't have any information on that at the moment, how it's likely to pan out around that time when the rand maybe finally gets to these levels we are looking at. I don't know what will happen, but I think we're likely to see our price coming back around 1448, 1450. But the first one is 1376. We need to first clear 1376, 1376, 1409, 1410. If all these levels fail, we are going up to 1448, 1450. Okay, if you guys have any more questions, let me know. But I think that's what we are likely to see happening on the rand. Okay, Bianca is saying that we should have a look at Implats. I think Implats is a good shot. I like Implats. I had a look at it a couple of days ago. Let's check Implats. Okay, first things first. Let's go to the monthly time frame. Let's go back a bit. Well, we are trading way below our 10 simple moving average here. The market has been declining. We've been going down. Let's try and get those support and resistance levels. In fact, let's try and use let's try and use the quarterly chart and use the dotted line for those all important support and resistance levels. Okay, those are the levels I'm looking at on. I'm not worried about the previous levels. I'm just looking at what is happening currently. We are trading below our our resistance levels. Let me mark these two. Fig between, I'll say between 2490 and 2360, we have some strong resistance there. There is a lot of resistance happening there, and we are below our simple moving average. I think every time the price tries to go to 2360 and 2490, around 25 there, sellers come in and push the price down. Let us look at the daily time frame. Daily time frame, we are still using the same resistance lines. We have this resistance line around 2360. That's our overhead resistance there. Anywhere between this zone, between 2490, 2360, you can actually use that as your sell zone. If at any one point you get a bearish reversal pin or a bearish engulfing bar or anything like that around that area, you can actually look to go in and start initiating some shots on implants. It happened here on the 15th. On the 15th, we had a bearish reversal bar here. The market went up there into encroaching into this zone where we're supposed to sell implants, and the market started falling. We went below the moving average on the 18th. On the 19th, we had a follow through. On the 20th, yesterday, we had another follow through. The market declined another 5.7% or 5.68%. Earlier, it had fallen 5.48%. So we are in a declining market. I think let us check using the daily where we have our support and resistance levels. Okay, this is your resistance, some minor resistance there, minor. I don't want to have too many lines. I'll have this one here. This is our this is our main support currently. Okay, let me just leave it. Okay, I'm not going to mark this one. I'm supposed to be marking this one, but I'm not going to mark it. I'm going to leave it like that. So, uh, well, I mean, the market has already closed below the simple moving average, fallen below this. This was our minor support. We've broken below. We broke below that support yesterday on the 20th of June. So that area that we broke through yesterday was our support. So we below that area now. That area is now turned into a resistance. That resistance is at 2135, 2150, around there. So I expect the market to, or the sellers to come in. To come in aggressively and push the price lower from 2150, 2135 if the buyers try to go in and buy this one towards our. Let me make this one a dotted line. Let me make it a dotted line. If the market tries to push the market up to this dotted line here, if the market tries to push the price up to this dotted line here, I think there are some sell orders waiting here, waiting to push the market lower. I'm expecting the price of implants to finally get back down to 1826, 1830. From where we are trading, I think, yeah, that's a good trade. If you are actually looking for a short, you can actually go in and short some implants there. Let me check the hourly time frame to see if it is confirming that we are trading this one down. Well, we are below there. I'm not happy with the way our hourly time frame looks currently. It's not looking very good, but I think we are still gonna move lower towards that 1830, 1820 level there. That's what I'm seeing on Implats. Okay, okay, Marubini wants me to have a look at CML. We'll have a look at it. Let me check what Bianca had to say here. Is that not a double bottom which indicates bullish reversal? I don't know. What are you referring to there, Bianca? Are you referring to Implats? Which stock are you referring to, and which levels are you looking at? Please tell me. Let me put this on a daily time frame so that we can get a better understanding. I think maybe you're referring to these two bottoms here. Are you looking at this at I mean on the 11th of May, Bianca? Is that what you're looking at? And this area here on the 28th. Oh, okay. I see that. We had well, I mean, we can call this a minor double bottom, if you like, a minor double bottom, because I mean, what happened is that when it hit this area, the price reversed, moved above the simple moving average, went up, but the main trend on this one is down. That part we must understand. That is why I always say that we must look at the monthly chart for the main direction of the market. Look at this one. You see, the market has been declining. Don't you guys see a declining staircase here? I'm seeing one. I'm seeing a declining staircase here. The market went down here, went up, came down, went up, came down, went up once again, came down, and this is what this market has been doing. This is what the market has been doing. This is what the market has been doing. Okay. Comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. So currently we are okay using the monthly chart. We are trading below this low beginning of 2016. We have actually broken below this low. The open here was 2450, and the close end of March 2018, the close was 2354. The open was 2450. We're 3 cents lower. April we went lower. May we went lower. Currently the market is undecided. It doesn't know what to do. But I mean, we are below that 2450. So that, in my view, is an indication that the market is likely to decline even more on this one. So I'm not looking at a very huge decline on this one. I'm just looking at the price coming down to, I'll give you the figure now. I'm looking at the price coming down to 1826, 1830. That's what I think the price is likely to do next on Implats. But let's keep an eye on it and see how everything pans out on this one. I think that's what is going to happen though. No, it's not a reversal pattern here, Bianca. This is too tiny. Let us not use it. It's too tiny. Okay, let's look at our last one. Our last one is CML. Marubini, I don't know if you're still there. Let me quickly check. Sorry about that. Okay, you're still there. Okay, let's look at our CML there. Let's look at our CML. CML, in my view, CML is still a short. CML, in my view, is a short. Okay, that's our that's our monthly time frame on CML. CML is trading below its closed below its simple moving average end of May. It was down 15.5%, close below the moving average, and month to date we are down over 4%. We are 4.3% down to be exact during the month of, month to date in June. Okay, let us use our key support and resistance levels on this one. I'll use the quarterly chart and perhaps move maybe to a lower time frame if I don't get any joy from the from the quarterly chart. I'm marking this area here. This is my support. Sorry, my resistance. I'm very sorry. That's my resistance. It's around 63. I think that is our resistance area currently. Every time the price gets to that level, I expect to see sellers coming in and pushing the price lower. We will check that maybe from the monthly time frame and the daily time frame to see if that is really the case or not. And the next area of support I'm looking at on this one, I'm looking at, according to this time frame, I'm looking at 52.93, or we can just call it that, just call that 53. And the next layer of support is at 48. I expect it to maybe start reversing between, let's call it 50 and 48. Between 50 and 48, that's where we can really expect to see the price on CML picking up. Currently, I think that it's on a nice decline. Okay, let's go to our monthly chart once again. Just want to double check something. Okay, monthly chart. You see where we closed last month? Our resistance is at 63.10, and our close last month, if you check our at the top of at the top of at the top of your screen or on top of your chart, we closed at 62.51. We closed the month of May at 62.51, which is below our horizontal resistance line at 63.10. So the market tried to go up there above 63.10, and sellers came in, pushed the price lower. So if we close the month of June below that 63.10, there's a good chance that in July, August, we are going to get to 50 or 52 around this area, around 48 50 area. That's where I think we have some value on sell. That's where people can actually start to look to go in for some longs there. Let's look at the daily time frame to see what the daily time frame is saying there. Okay, daily time frame is giving us the same picture that this market is on a decline. You see what happened here on the 14th. The market tried to go up above our moving average, and the high was 62.83. Sellers came in, started pushing the price lower. So people should have used this one as a shorting opportunity. Every time when the price gets to 63, maybe or closer to 63, that's where people should start maybe thinking of going in and taking some shots on CML, because CML is on a decline. Yesterday, I think, okay, let's check the values. Let's check the SMA value yesterday. We had 59.87, and the close was actually 59.85 on the chart. So the chart closed below the simple moving average yesterday, although it was trying to move up above the moving average. Sellers came in and kept it below, kept it calm there. And today we are above the simple moving average. I don't know whether we're going to close above or not. We'll check maybe towards the end of the trading session today at 5 whether we close above or not. If we close above, it's possible that we may get a follow through maybe tomorrow, pushing the price up maybe towards 62 or 61.90, where people can actually go in and take more shots on CML, hoping that the price finally decline down to 52 or 50 bucks. But my buy zone on this one is 50, and between is 50, 52 or 50 and 48 around here. I I'll be on the lookout for some bullish reversals on CML. If I get one here, I will never ask any questions. I'll just go in and start accumulating some CMLs. I think CML will be a bargain around these levels. Guys, I don't know if you are happy with this one, CML. If you have more questions, please ask. Otherwise, I think we are done for the day. Bianca, you want us to have a look at at Woolies? Okay, it's fine. Let's quickly have a look at Woolies. I'll have to go at some point, Bianca. You know, I'll have to go at some point. Okay, let's use the quarterly. Let's use the quarterly time frame to get our support and resistance levels on this one. Let's start here. That is 60.73. We had this resistance around, well, I mean, back in 2012. We are going to use it. Okay, that's our next support. I'm looking at Woolies coming down to touch 50. I'm looking at Woolies coming down to touch 50. So maybe between 48 and 50, that's where maybe we can have buyers coming in and start to buy Woolies once again. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I think is likely to happen. But we'll go back to our shorter time frames to see if they confirm that or if they agree with our bias there. Okay, let's look at the monthly time frame, what the monthly time frame is saying. Let's check our our close in March. We had a negative close in March. We closed below the simple moving average, which is negative. After that, in April, the market tried to go up towards that support around 65, 64.50. You see where our support is if you check on the side here. That's our resistance. It went up there. Sellers came in, pushed the price down. We ended the month below that horizontal line, resistance, horizontal line at the top there, which is our resistance. We closed below. And in May, we came down close to 9%, 8.84%. We declined and we closed below the simple moving average, and that opened doors for sellers to come in and push the stock much lower. Look where the market is trading month to date. We are down 7% on Woolies, which is a follow through from the break and close below the simple moving average at the end of May. And the market is now down, 7% year to date. We'll see what happens next going into July. But in my view, I think that this market is likely to decline further, going down towards that $50, which is a nice big number. And another area is 48. Between 48 and 50, I think this is a value zone. This is where people are really going to be coming in and buying Woolies. That is the area where I think people are really going to start developing some interest for this stock here. Okay, let us get another line here at this turning point. I'm going to market 56.28. 56.28 is our resistance. 56.28 is our resistance currently on Woolworths. Let's check if that is true. We'll use the daily time frame now. We use the daily time frame. Okay, you see the price played around this area a couple of times, not really falling, but it finally fell on the 15th, and we went and we were still below the 10 simple moving average on our monthly chart, and the price went down. We had a follow through. Although we have too many tails or too many weeks around this area here, but I still believe that the market is still going to decline a bit more. I still believe that the market is going to decline a bit more. Let us look at this area here. You see the market went up, hit that area, went above the simple moving average, went below that area, went below the simple moving average, broke below the support that we have here, and currently we are trading around this minor resistance that we have here. Let's check what the market does maybe over the next couple of trading sessions. But it looks like we are likely to go back down to that 48.50 zone where the market is likely to pick up. But I mean, if you look at this one, I think the traders are also looking at this, because I mean, if you are looking at the monthly, our resistance is at 56, which is okay, because you see the market went up this week. It got to that area and sellers came in, they pushed the market lower. But I mean, if you look at the weekly, you're getting a different level when it comes to that resistance, or well, I mean, it was support, it's now resistance. So yeah, we can't call it any other thing, we can just call it resistance. So on the weekly we are looking at 55.26, on the monthly we're looking at 55.28. Those two values, they are not really far apart from each other, they are actually very close. So we're looking at that area 55.26. Look, today the high today on this one is 55.28, which is perfect. 55.28, and the market hasn't really managed to break above that area there. If we close like this today, there's a good chance we're going to move lower to that 50.48 zone. Around 50 and 48, that's where we can actually look to start buying some Woolworths, provided the market conditions improve and the market starts looking positive. Guys, thank you very much. Let's meet again tomorrow. If you have any more questions, you have my email address. If you don't have, I will send it to you right now. It's sihle@quicktrade.co.za. sihle@quicktrade.co.za. You can send me those questions or those comments. I'll have a look at them and try and make time to come back to you guys. Thank you so much, guys.